In this tutorial, we explore visibility analysis, which provides archaeologists and other researchers with a way to model cognitive and experiential aspects of past landscapes. Viewsheds represent the most common form of visibility analysis, which mathematically model the visible space from a single observer or observation point, or even a series of points. Viewsheds provide a dual perspective, in that they also define the area from which the observation point or points are visible themselves. In this tutorial, we will explore viewshed analysis in a couple of different ways. The first will begin with creating a digital elevation model, or DEM, from a set of contour lines, and then creating a viewshed for a single point representing an historical British fort in Nevis, West Indies. The second method will use freely available data downloaded from online to create a cumulative viewshed showing not only which areas are visible from our observer points, but how many observer points have unobstructed views of those areas. As always, timestamps are available in the description, as are links to the programs, websites, and data used in this tutorial. Okay, let's get started. Now we'll go ahead and create a digital elevation model and a single viewshed, or a viewshed from a single observer point. Before we get started, of course, we have to make sure we have the right plugin installed. And in this case, that is the Visibility Analysis plugin. I've already installed it, but you would click Install Plugin, and then you can close this window when it's finished installing, and you'll see the Visibility Analysis pop up in the processing window or panel over here. We're going to go ahead and use a series of contour lines that have been provided in the data to create our digital elevation model. Now we have a couple different interpolation methods, IDW, or inverse distance weighted, or TIN, triangulated irregular network. TIN models are pretty good for elevation, so that's what we'll go with. You can see it's already selected our vector layer, so we're going to tell it to use the elevation. If we look at the attribute table for this data, we'll see that there's actually two fields. One is a string, so that's sort of like letters, right? And then one is an integer, right? And what I did here is I used the field calculator to basically take the letter values and put them into an integer format, which is required for this TIN interpolation. Now we're going to click the add button so we can tell it to use the elevation data from these contours to produce our digital elevation model. I'm going to leave it at points. You might want to fiddle around with that, but I've found points usually work pretty good. We'll leave the interpolation method as is, but change the calculate from layer to Nevis contours. Then we'll also change the pixel size, and this just basically means that each pixel of the resulting raster will be 5 meters by 5 meters. I'm going to leave the interpolated output, which is just a raster file, to a temporary file. I don't need to save this, but of course you might want to, and you have that option if you want to. Click run. That should finish fairly quickly depending on your data set and hardware. There, I'm done. I'll close the window and we can see we now have a nice digital elevation model, or DEM, of the island of Nevis. We can go ahead and add our Google, let's just do roads here, and we can turn this on and off and turn off those contours, and we can see, this matches pretty well. It's a really nice model. So now we're ready to go ahead and do the actual viewshed analysis. We're going to use Fort Charles here, which if I turn off the interpolated and sort of zoom in here, you can see it popping up. I've placed the point sort of around the entrance. We'll go ahead and stick with that. The first step we need to do is create a viewpoint. So this actually will use, in this case, the point shapefile, because we already have it selected. We're going to tell it to use the interpolated digital elevation model. Most of these we're going to leave unchanged. We do want to change the radius of analysis here to 10,000 or 10 kilometers to sort of encompass the entire island. I'm going to change the observer height, in this case, to 5 meters. That means sort of we're standing at, in this case, about 15 feet above ground, which is good for this site because we know walls and other structures stood 10, 12, 15 feet above the ground. I'm not going to change the target height because I'm just interested in seeing the Earth's surface, and we'll go ahead and run this, close it. We can turn off Fort Charles and we can see this output layer, which we could even rename if you want to observer points, or in this case, observer point. The viewshed analysis that we'll now create uses this observer point to calculate the viewshed. So we're going to do a binary viewshed. There are other types. Binary basically gives you two values, visible, not visible. Observer point is observer point, and of course our digital elevation model here is interpolated. I like to click take in account Earth curvature. It tends to help, particularly in large spaces like an island, to create just a little bit more accuracy in the final output Viewshed. So we'll go ahead, I'm going to leave this again as a temporary file. We'll click run. Okay, it is now finished. So what we need to do now, of course, is to symbolize this, and we'll do that in the layer styling tab. And of course, if you don't, if this is not up, you can always access these by going to view, panels, in this case layer styling. That'll toggle that on and off, and you can just drag it over here. You can do that with any of these tabs or panels. So we've got this selected, this output file. We could press F2 to rename. We'll just call it Viewshed. And what we want to do is we want to change this to a single band pseudo color. We'll leave it at linear. We'll go ahead and classify it into equal intervals, and we'll do 2. The first one is 0, the second one is 1. 1 is what is visible. So what we'll do here is just change the opacity of that 0, and I'll take it all the way down to 0. That removes it, and this leaves us with what is visible. If we drag this beneath our observer point, what is visible from this point. There we go, we've turned this all off. We have this clip to the shoreline. We can now see the Viewshed. And I do want to point out here, right, with this data, you can see these sorts of bands in here. And that's a result from the fact that we used our contour data. So we sometimes refer to this as tiger banding. Okay, next what we're going to do is create a cumulative viewshed analysis using Aster data, which is a digital elevation model available for almost the entire world. We'll do this at Earth Data Search. The link for this is, of course, in the description below. You want to make sure you're logged in, and that's over here on this side. If you're not, it'll say log in, and you can follow the steps to create an account if you don't have one. So let's go ahead and navigate over to the area with Nevis, which of course I know this area very well. We want to go ahead and set our region. So I'm just going to use a rectangle, and I'm just going to drag out by left clicking and dragging a rectangle around Nevis. We want to go ahead and select our instrument, which in this case is Aster. And this will filter it here. We have 31 matching collections. And what we're actually looking for here is the Aster Global Digital Elevation Model, NET CDF V003. And the way I just sort of sort through this is I hit Control F and I search for NET CDF, all one word, and then V003. We can see there's only one match, and it's already highlighted right here. So that's what we're going to be downloading. Now we'll go ahead and click on this, and it'll take us into an area here. We can see there's one granule of data to download. So if we click that and give it a moment, it'll populate everything. We can download the data, and this will take us to a link. Here it is, ready to download. So we will click on that, and we would save the file. Of course, I will save this into our folder. I've already done this. So let's go ahead and add the Aster DEM that we downloaded. We can see it's for a rather large area. If we use the Nevis coast area on top of that, we can see that's only the area we want to work with. Of course, what we need to do now is check to see if this is in the correct projected coordinate system. It is not. It is in a geographic coordinate system. So what we'll do is we'll use the warp, or we can search for project raster, and this will give us the warp tool or reproject tool. You can see it's already chosen our Aster data. We want to go ahead and choose a target coordinate system. In this case, this is EPSG code 32620. I'm going to make sure and select that, click OK. We could then go ahead and save this to a file. I'll leave it a temporary file because I've already done this up here. I named it asterfull.tif, which is available in the data download folder. Click run. We can close this. We can look at the properties for reprojected, and we can see that this is now in our projected coordinate system. So then the only other thing we want to do is clip this to the area of Nevis. And of course we would look for the clip raster by mask layer tool. We would use the reprojected, or if you're using the tutorial data, Aster full TIFF, right, as your input layer. The mask layer will be the Nevis coast area. I'm not going to worry about any of these other settings because I've actually already done this for you as well in the Aster clip. I just want to show you where that data came from. Click run, click close. We can then close out these other data sets, zoom into the clipped area. So this new raster, we can also check to see, and sure enough, it has maintained a projected coordinate system. So now we're ready to go ahead and create that cumulative viewshed. This is just the clipped DEM, and we're ready to create that cumulative viewshed. So in this case, we're going to be using all the Nevis forts. So there are several forts, historic forts located on the island. And so what we're going to do is follow the same process that we use for a single viewshed, but we're going to use all of these points. So we're going to begin by creating our viewpoints. See, it's already chosen Nevis forts. We'll use the Aster clip as our digital elevation model. Make sure radius of analysis in this case is set to 10,000, so 10 kilometers. Observer height, I'm going to go ahead and set that up to 5 again. I'll leave the target height at 0 for land service and click run. And of course we can close this out. That has created our output layers, which I'll press F2 and just call observer points. And now we're ready to create our cumulative viewshed. So we use the same viewshed tool. Our analysis type will remain binary viewshed. Observer points are already selected. Digital elevation model, we use Aster clip. Take in account Earth curvature. I'll leave the output file as a temporary file, but you could save it anywhere you like. Click run and close this. And now we can see a much more complex data set has emerged. And of course, what we want to do now is change the layer styling. In this case, we want to basically represent sort of groupings of how many forts have unobstructed views of different areas of the landscape. So we're going to go ahead and change this to single band pseudo color. We want to change the interpolation to discrete. We can go ahead and come down here, make this equal interval, take this down to 4. We want the first setting to be 0 because we're going to make that invisible, and then 3, 6, and I'll just jump this up to 12 to capture everything. And then we'll go ahead and of course change the opacity for 0. In other words, those are areas that no fort can see. We'll click OK. We can turn off our Aster clip, add our good old Google Roads layer, and we can see how many parts of Nevis are visible from how many different forts. So many sites actually cover large areas, and a single point or even a few may not be enough to capture the entire area that's actually visible from that site. So in this case, we're going to focus on this area down here, which is Saddle Hill, and we're going to use actually a bunch of points to represent more of the site's actual area, which will provide a better viewshed model. So what we're going to add here is Saddle Hill, and we're going to see it's a string of points. These points were actually collected walking ridges and other areas with a GPS unit. So now we're going to use this, and we're going to start the same process, right? We're going to create our viewpoints. We're going to use Saddle Hill. The digital elevation will stick with the Aster clip in this case. Radius of analysis, we want to push up to 10,000 so we can capture the whole island. Observer heights, I'll probably leave this. We can go ahead and stick with 5. We could do a little lower, a little more. This is ground surface, so bringing it up a bit is a good idea. Everything else we'll go ahead and leave set. I'll leave the output layer to a temporary file, but you could save it anywhere. So we'll go ahead and click run, and then of course we'll produce our output layer, which we'll rename as observer points. And then we want to go ahead and bring up our viewshed. Binary viewshed observer points are already selected. We'll use that Aster clip DEM and take into account the Earth's curvature. You can save it, I won't. Click run, give that a moment, and here we have a pretty large area, and I can tell you from working at the site, this is pretty accurate. You can see areas close by that aren't visible, but that's actually fairly true given all of the different elevation changes in this part of Nevis. So of course the last thing we want to do here is change the symbology so we can use this as an overlay. We will change this again to single band pseudo color. We're going to leave this at linear. We're going to go ahead and choose equal interval. We're going to go down to 3. Actually what I'll do first is go ahead and invert the color ramp. We'll go ahead and keep this at 0. Then we'll push this at 1. And then whatever the highest number is, we'll leave for this bottom one. Now what we're going to do is, of course, change the opacity here to 0. Click OK. We want to then change the color for this. And when you come into this color selector, it might be in different areas. I like to just choose sort of a darker color along the same ramp, blue in this case. And here we go. We have now, right, if we turn off the Aster clip, bring in some base layer. In this case, we'll just stick with Google Road. we can see an enormous area here. There you've done a cumulative viewshed to represent a more accurate viewshed from a single site. So as always, links to location of data are in the description. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get future updates. Until next time, keep mapping the past.